Fatwa, I am no expert, but certainly when I was reading articles in terms of where the rand sits and what the currency gets impacted by, influenced by, I figured because I'm not an expert, maybe let's bring in the expert of so that you can teach us at a layman's term. What does South Africa, or what influences South Africa's currency? What influences the rand?
Okay. I would say there are two drivers. There are two sets of reasons that drive the strength of the South African rand or any currency against another currency. So the first, we'll classify them into two sets. First issue is called structural drivers of the exchange rate, and the other one I would like to call them non-structural drivers of the exchange rate. So under structural drivers of the exchange rate, we have got things that are like GDP, the GDP performance of the country. that is my view on geopolitical instability, particularly as a non-structural figure.
So in other words, if a press conference is held today, and you've got a political party that says we're still committed to the government of national unity, will the RAND react today? In South Africa?
In South Africa, let me break it down. The geopolitical instability part, because right now, you find out that the position that Michelle took about other structural sectors. When the GNU came in, the RAND really moved when South Africa started bringing their money back to South Africa. Like under the
positive sentiment.
Yes, so South Africans who brought their money back to South Africa. That's important. It's not US people or London.
It was South Africans that brought their money back.
It was South Africans that brought their money back into South Africa, and they had to buy back into the RAND to come back into the country. So now, when the geopolitical, every non-structural sector, it is interesting to note that it is only happening in South Africa. In South African investors, moving their money between South Africa and the South, foreigners moving their money when they are into South Africa. And it becomes a local dynamic, and becomes a parochial dynamic, where due to the political economic space in South Africa, we can see that money is indeed moving, but what I could say the positive out of it is it's not foreign money. It is domestic money that is moving in and out whenever they seem to be in the GNU. So such a problem in South African money by South African investors, then there is scope to negotiate in other ways that do not necessarily mean that by a certain party it must go, which is actually driving foreign investment to invest or get out of South Africa. Yes, they do look at what the domestic investor, what South Africans are doing, but the majority of the impact is by South African investors or their money moving out of the country.
So basically, it doesn't move towards emotional sentiment. It doesn't move towards a sentiment of one. In other words, one political party can't drive the RAND.
What the phenomenon that we are seeing is that in the GNU, so now it's two things like the coalition. If the GNU is intact, the RAND is okay. If the address to split it goes down. So it can no longer be an issue saying one party is driving the RAND. Now the DA and the ANC board in this new setup are actually responsible for driving the RAND. So from an economic perspective, it is difficult now to say one party is driving the RAND because it is being driven by a union of two parties. So
a union of 10 political parties actually.
Sorry, she has expanded. She has taken that political from you as an economist. Okay, 10 political parties, I'll correct myself. So it's not the DA that is driving the RAND. It is the GNU that is now driving the RAND. The level of the GNU that is driving the RAND.
I appreciate it.
So both political parties should really be cognizant of the responsibility that they now have. Otherwise, we could get into this comparable to a dynamic where neither of them was in power, one of them was in power, then you would see where things would really go, you know. If the ANC alone had managed to come a majority, the RAND has gone as badly as where it has gone. I know it's 19, now it's about 1885, now it's back. And then you now have a GNU dynamic, and then there's a section in that GNU dynamic which sort of targets the RAND to say we don't want the RAND goes down. Now, if the balance of power between the two parties is not okay for some reason, and the ANC says it wants to, imagine what would happen to the RAND. So it's now no longer he can drive the RAND. It's now a commitment to the GNU. It's now a 10-party dynamic. That is other geopolitical. So it's no longer, it can't be one person. If So we can now see when the DA says it wants to get out, the rand will go berserk. Do they want to be responsible for that? And will they be that kind of dynamic that comes in? Without the ANC, there's no GNU. It's tough, but there's more, the dynamic between these two becomes more settled. The higher the chances of keeping the rand where it is and going up. But then at the end of the day, I can promise you, the geopolitical stability is an uncertain factor. Can be driving up between 15 and 35 cents versus the dollar at a given time. Whereas there are some deep structural issues that I feel the GNU should be addressing that can go to that side where we can cut $3 to $5 down. We can move it from around 1867 where you can see now to somewhere around 1450, 13 if the structural issues, which are policy setting, can be ironed out by the G.
I hear you. Loud and clear. I think that we've all heard you, and I think that it's important that you've given us a contextual understanding and a thorough understanding of it. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Anyways, let me take a couple of your voice notes. Let me start off with the voice notes, and then I'll take a couple of your calls.
It's Percy here. I'm wondering when you start talking about the rand being with eyes, with the ears. This has been happening for a long time, but we tend to ignore because it was being done to someone that we didn't like. The rand, the junk status thing, was being done every weekend, every Friday when it was Zuma. But now the country is not running well. We had lots of load shedding. We had the worst load shedding, but there was never any junk status that was talked about. So you can blame the media, you can blame the DA, but that's the fact. It's being run by people.
I also have an issue with this issue of the rand going up and down because of what's happening in politics. Even when the new government was sworn in, the first thing that was spoken is the rand. What has that got to do with the rand? But other countries, Donald Trump was sworn his inauguration just this past week. We didn't see stories of the dollar doing anything. So I don't know what agenda is South Africa pushing, or they don't have anything to hide. I don't know. Thanks, great show as always.
Faith and the listeners of Metro FM. You know what, ne? To be truly honest, and let's talk truth today. Let's be honest about ourselves. The economy of South Africa, the economy of South Africa is in the white people's hands, and there's not much we can do about it. And the white people that are supporting the white party.
Hey, Faith and all Metro FM listeners, good evening. On rand debacle, neoliberalism simply refers to the market-oriented reform policies through which privatization is the order of the day. Faith, DA and ANC now believe in such economic system that only caters for the few elites. Therefore, the fall and the rise of rand will come to an end when both parties are voted out of power by the majority of South Africans who do not subscribe to neoliberal policy reforms. This is Andile from Stax.